Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. Global News reports that Canada's federal Liberal Party has adopted a non-binding resolution to ban children under 16 from using social media platforms. The motion, championed by Quebec MP Rachel Bendayan, highlights concerns about the harmful impact of prolonged social media use on young Canadians' mental health and the addictive design of these technologies. The resolution places the onus of enforcement on social media companies. While the measure is not legally binding on the government, it initiates a broader national conversation. A recent Angus Reid poll indicated widespread support, with 3/4 of Canadians backing a full ban for this age group. However, concerns about privacy risks associated with age verification methods, such as government IDs or facial recognition, have been raised by some, including 17-year-old Liberal Convention attendee Carter Scott. The Liberals also passed a similar resolution calling for age restrictions on AI chatbots for youth. City News Everywhere reports that Canada's significant involvement in space exploration is far from over. Despite the recent return of the Artemis II mission, which included a Canadian astronaut, the focus is now shifting towards Canada's future contributions to lunar exploration. Dr. Gordon Osensky, an Ontario planetary scientist, is slated to play a crucial role in the Artemis II mission. He will assist in guiding astronauts at the lunar South Pole, marking the first human return to that region since 1972. His responsibilities will encompass mapping routes, selecting samples, and shaping the scientific objectives on the lunar surface. Furthermore, Canada has ambitious plans to develop and contribute its own lunar rover, aiming for deployment by 2034. As highlighted by Caroline Emmanuel Morissette of the Canadian Space Agency, Canada is not merely observing, but actively contributing to the construction of these upcoming space missions. From City News Everywhere, First Nations leaders in British Columbia have expressed unanimous opposition to a proposed provincial initiative to suspend certain sections of the Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples Act, or DRIPA. Passed in 2019, DRIPA has recently gained prominence following BC Court of Appeal decisions in favor of First Nations regarding mining and property rights. Indigenous leaders consider any unilateral alteration to the act a breach of reconciliation efforts. First Nations Summit leader Robert Phillips stated, "They will not tolerate misinformation, prejudice, racism," and that Premier David Eby is adding fuel to the fire. Grand Chief Stuart Phillip questioned Premier Eby's leadership, calling it a colossal problem for the NDP. Premier Eby defends the temporary suspension, citing very serious litigation risk if DRIPA remains unchanged. However, First Nations leaders argue that such a pause would escalate tensions and lead to further legal challenges, describing it as a strategy of denial. With the Premier tying his government's future to this decision, it's noted that Grand Chief Phillip's wife, an MLA in Eby's caucus, is against the suspension. Should the legislative vote fail, British Columbians could face an early provincial election. CTV News reports that Peter Milobar, a leading contender for the leadership of the Conservative Party of BC, has announced a change in his campaign management. His longtime campaign manager, Mark Werner, is stepping back from his role to focus on his family business. This development follows an investigation by Elections BC, which fined BC United $4,500 for a false statement to affect election results. The investigation centered on a mail-out and website, orchestrated in August 2024 by BC United campaign officials, that targeted former Conservative leader John Rustad and MLA Teresa Watt. Although Elections BC did not name the campaign manager, Werner held that position at the time. Milobar stated that Werner had no knowledge of the misleading materials and was terminated from BC United on August 28, 2024. Werner also publicly denied knowledge of the website or mailer. Jeff Conister will now take over as Milobar's campaign manager as the leadership race nears its conclusion, with the deadline of April 18th for new member signups. UBC political science lecturer Stuart Press suggests this late change in Milobar's team may benefit rival candidate Caroline Elliott. A man from Ajax, identified as 30-year-old Riley Daniels, has been charged by Toronto police following allegations of online anti-Semitic comments and death threats. According to CTV News, the man is accused of sending repeated online communications containing anti-Jewish remarks and threats to cause death to several complainants between October 1 and October 3, 2025. Toronto police initiated an investigation into these allegations, which is being handled as a suspected hate-motivated offense. Daniels was subsequently arrested by Durham police on Friday and now faces 2 counts of criminal harassment and uttering threats. The authorities continue to investigate the full scope of the alleged actions. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.